Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. Let's get right back to our powerhouse panel. My co-host for the week, Allison Maloney, joining us as well. Full panel back. Mark, we are back live. Mark, we're back live. Good morning. Good morning. What pressing business are you attending to there?
The Twitter.
What could be more pressing than this, Mark? Kelly Sadler, Chris Arps with us as well this morning. I thought this was hysterical. Brian Stelter had author Michael Wolff on. We call those friendly bookings in the business. This was not friendly, and quite frankly, this was funny. Take a look.
You're full of sanctimony. You become part of one of the parts of the problem of the media. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. I'm sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
So what should I do differently, Michael?
Don't talk so much. Listen more. You're incredibly repetitive. It's week after week. I mean, you're the flip side of Donald Trump. Most people don't want to turn to Brian Stelter to tell us what's real. I'm sorry.
Well, then why'd you bother coming on CNN a few times this week?
I'm a book salesman.
He's trying to get paid. He's trying to make some money. What do you think, Kelly? To you first on that. First of all, I thought it was fascinating. And by the way, that's just a snippet that played out for another 30 seconds. But Stelter, and I thought this was very telling. You've got to be quick. You've got to be quick in any business. But he had nothing. He had no response. He couldn't come up with anything. I can see the wheels are turning, and he just didn't have anything to dish back to Michael Wolff.
No, he had an awkward laugh. And, Brian Stelter never gets challenged on his show,
right? Ever.
His show is about the media, and it's supposed to be a critique of the media, but he never kind of takes an inward look at exactly what CNN is doing and how they play in to ultimately, the broad Americans' distrust in the media. Instead, it's a show all about Fox News and critiquing Fox News and why Fox News is wrong and why it's spreading misinformation, but it never looks inward. So I thought that was a hilarious interview where he got a dose of the truth and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and Newsmax, by the way. And I don't know who made him king, by the way, but he's all over us as well. All right, Mark, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, when Brian Stelter opened the door to say, what should I do differently? I wish Michael Wolff had said, stop pretending to be a journalist when you're a liberal activist.
Yeah. By the way, I like the Trump comparison. Like, he is the polar opposite of Donald Trump. People, by the way, the ratings, Chris, for that show and many others on CNN, I mean, I'm not talking like a normal little dip because, they've got a Democrat in the Oval Office and there's not a lot, times are good. The ratings are abysmal. Abysmal. Look, people are not watching. It's not a typical summer tune-out, Chris.
Look, Michael Wolff spoke for me and for countless other Americans when he told Brian Stelter where to get off. CNN is biased. We all know it. We haven't had a real true media in years. And thank goodness for Newsmax and other conservative outlets out there that can get the truth out to the American people, because we sure aren't getting it from cable news and the mainstream networks.
All right, we're seeing a little arrogance in the city of New York. Outgoing Mayor Bill de Blasio invited New York City Democratic mayoral hopeful Eric Adams to an event over the weekend. And Adams was very vocal about the fact that when he takes office, not if, there is a Republican, Curtis Sweela, who's been on the show here several times. He's the Republican nominee. He says that when he takes office, he wants to focus on renaming streets and buildings across New York City that honor slave owners. Places like possibly Washington Square Park, who honors our first president, George Washington, who was a slave owner and became one at the age of 11 when his father passed away. Allison, we're talking about, there's two cities right now where crime they're Chicago and New York. Things couldn't be worse. Should this really be the focus right now? Is he trying to win this election, or is he trying to deliberately lose it?
He maybe just thinks he has this election won.
Oh, he certainly thinks he's got it won already.
Right. And so the crime obviously is the #1 problem here in New York. We see it day after day. We're reporting on people being shot, people being attacked and mugged. This is a major problem. Police officers are leaving the force rapidly. They've been doing it since last year. They can't get police officers to join the force, and there's no support for police officers. So he needs to focus on crime, but I think he thinks he has this election won. So he'll talk about what we're talking about, woke America, and that's the priority instead of keeping its citizens safe.
Yeah, and Curtis Sweela, the Republican nominee, has been very clear that the people of New York City are his top focus, America's biggest city. That affects millions and millions of people. Okay, winners and losers of the weekend. Who's the most prepared right now? I've been telling you we're going to get to this for an hour and a half. Mark, we'll go to you first. How about that?
Winners, the Milwaukee Bucks, America's Heartland Team of Destiny, won a critical Game 5, and they're going to win the NBA title, which is great. It's been a long time coming. Loser of the weekend, Newsmax own host of Wake Up America, Rob Finnerty, who told his panel not to choose the Olympics as something they're looking forward to, and then chose it, causing a lot of consternation, not just around America, but in the Finnerty household, I'm told.
Mark, quite accurate. I will call you one of the losers of the weekend as well, because my strategy there worked, because you always choose what I'm going to choose, and then I can't come up with something, because I have what I call
Curse
Brian
is spoiled
Stelter
again.
syndrome, where I'm not quick on my feet. Kelly, winners and losers to you.
Winner Bernie Sanders. We're seeing this $3.5 trillion human infrastructure package. It basically includes all of his wish lists and desires. Chuck Schumer is going to try to get it through. Bernie Sanders is the leader of the Democratic Party. In terms of losers, there was an interesting report from the New York Post this week about the Olympic Village. Apparently, the athletes are going to be sleeping on cardboard beds that will collapse if they have a guest over to sleep with them.
Yes,
so,
that is, I don't want to get into the weeds with that, but the cardboard beds apparently they can hold one person, but not two. So they're trying to prevent the spread of COVID when people are being maybe a little bit more intimate there in Tokyo. Opening ceremonies on Friday. Chris, to you, winners and losers.
I think the losers are the Texas state legislators that are doing this stunt and have gone to Washington, D.C. The winners, I have to say, are the conservative radio listeners of St. Louis, who have a brand new radio station to listen to today, 101.9 News Talk STL.
So far to the right, we're in your glove box from the station that reaches
I like
the
that.
beaches.
I'm going to steal that.
Allison, what do you got?
I'm going to give Chris the winner for promoting his new show. Kudos to you.
He'll never be invited back on, but he did get to promote his show.
Get it all in.
No, but I actually think the other winner is Michael Wolff for calling out our friend on CNN. I thought that was a great segment.
I was going to say, I want to invite Michael Wolff on here.
Yeah, and loser is Chris's choice as well, the Democrats that got on that private plane, and 5 of them have COVID now. So.
Yep, I'm going to do 2 losers. I think I'll take it a step further. I think it's the people of Texas, by the way, there's no closure until they get to have a vote, until they have a quorum there. So as long as those lawmakers are in D.C., that doesn't happen. And also the people of Cuba, the Biden administration has done an abysmal job standing up or standing for the protesters and getting behind the protesters who are protesting the socialist communist dictatorship that's run that country for almost 70 years. All right, panel, great stuff. Mark Halperin, Kelly Sadler, Chris Arps, Allison Maloney. See you in just a minute. We'll see you guys throughout the week.